okay. It's the best I can do.
In some professions, even the best is never good enough. It's hard to make a man look like he used to when he's missing half his face. But this volunteer and this one gave it their all. And in this light, at this angle, even they have to admit...
Look at that one, that's clear. Wow. There's no way anybody would know, right?
Their toughest critics seem to agree.
It looks real.
It all started with a serious diagnosis, a spot on the nose that resulted in a devastating scar. Jim Pollette's insurance plan
could afford to stop the cancer that was killing me, but they couldn't afford to give me a new face.
For the past 3 years, Jim has dreaded the most ordinary outings.
I've had little children cry, scream.
Even a trip to the grocery store was an ordeal. To strangers he'd encounter...
it's like the boogeyman just come down the aisle.
The hole in his face, impossible to miss. Neighbor J.C. Cannon contacted Fox 11.
It just broke my heart.
Goddaughter Marianne Simmons put out this plea.
If there's any doctors watching, if you can, could you please help him?
The impact of sharing his story with a television audience.
I'm not so much of a mystery anymore. Now I'm a cancer survivor instead of just a man with a missing face.
2 days after Jim's story aired, we were alerted that he'd be getting an important call, so we stopped in.
Hello?
Hi, is this Jim?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Jim, this is Matt Singer. I saw your story on the news.
Turns out, Matt Singer used to be a Hollywood special effects artist. But after years of making up movie stars...
But it became less rewarding.
So Matt went back to school to study maxillofacial prosthetics. He wanted to apply his talent to people in real need. Jim fit the bill. Matt's offer...
make you a free prosthesis that'll make you look great.
So you're kidding.
I'm totally serious.
It was a moment Jim and his friends will never forget.
My buddy's gonna look like... Buddy is gonna look like...
In December, Matt and Jim met for the first time.
Matt Singer.
To Jim's surprise, Matt wasn't freaked out.
Looking at it right now, there's no reason that we can't do a prosthesis for you. We're going to scan this into the computer.
Using Jim's old driver's license photo and a few new photos as a reference, Matt worked to recreate the bone muscles and skin of Jim's cheek, nose, and left eyelid. For the eye itself, Matt recruited Larchmont Village ocularist Stephen Haddad. In the world of facial prosthetics, Haddad is the eyeball king.
I'm going to take a very close-up photograph of your eye.
Steve says eyes are every bit as unique as fingerprints. To get started,
I'm just going to pull some samples from a tray here.
The next step, an impression of Jim's entire face, missing part and all.
How does that feel? Weird?
Before Jim left for the day, one more surprise, a visit from Larchmont optometrist Dr. Jeanette Yu.
What we would like to do for you is to take care of your eye exam and to get you a new pair of glasses.
Jim hasn't been able to wear glasses since his cancer surgery. He's practically blind without them.
Stare at the letters.
1 month later,
So we're going to enlarge the iris about a 0.5 millimeter.
Both Matt and Steve were working to perfect their masterpieces before Jim's final fitting. To get the eyeball just right,
I'm going to add a few more veins.
To create those veins,
Embroidery thread works perfectly to simulate the veining.
For Matt, who is putting finishing touches on the wax model that will be used to make the mold for Jim's silicone implant, he knows he's getting closer when...
It looks like really like, if I just can squint my eyes and believe that's really a person's face, like I actually picked up a piece of his face, then I know I'm pretty close.
When the day finally came for Jim to meet his other half, Matt is on pins and needles. For weeks he'd been adjusting and perfecting, and now...
I am excited. I'm a little nervous.
Jim had been told that to get a new face, he'd need several surgeries, but instead of the OR, he found himself playing the role of model for Matt. Everything has to match: the wrinkles, the freckles, even the sun damage. Complexion close to perfect.
We're going to use this hair to make his eyebrow.
Eyebrow hairs arranged in just the right position. The moment Jim's been waiting for more than 3 years is here. Before Jim sees it, Matt takes a final look. Next, Jim gets his new glasses.
Wow, I can actually see again.
At last, it's time for his friends to see him.
Hi, Jim. How do you look? Wow.
What do you think?
That looks cool.
Looks great.
Steve made the eye portion.
How did you make the eye?
It took a while for Jim to get over the shock of seeing his old self staring back at him.
Wow.
Could he like blink on his fake eye?
No, he can't, unfortunately. We're just going to have to look at it as the one thing I can't do.
Nevertheless, a thumbs up for the team that donated their time and talent to give Jim a new face.
Well, thanks for taking the chance for him.
Impressed.
Thanks, dude.